Hello, I'm Stuart Gates. I'm the UK representative for the European Rotorcraft Forum. I'm here today to speak with Steve Allen, who's kindly invited me to the Yeovil site, Leonardo Helicopters. Steve, you're relatively new to the company and you've been given the major responsibility of providing the strategic direction for Leonardo Helicopters' Yeovil site. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Thank you, Stuart. My background is 35 years in the Royal Navy with a strongly operationally focused career, balanced between being an anti-submarine helicopter observer in aircraft built here in Yeovil and a warfare officer fighting and driving ships. I've commanded aviation units, ships and shore organisations, and I've been on senior staffs in both operational theatres and at home in the UK. More lately, I was the Commodore Fleet Air Arm. I was also the Programme Director for the UK's Carrier Programme and Senior Responsible Owner accountable for the delivery of the Navy's maritime helicopter programmes.
What were your first impressions when joining the company, and has your perception of the challenges faced by the rotorcraft industry changed at all?
My experience of Leonardo from within the military was very positive, so I was delighted to be invited to become part of the team here in Yeovil. As a naval aviator, I was always aware that nobody makes better helicopters for the challenging maritime environment than Leonardo. And I've always liked the company for its passion, its openness, its flexibility and its pragmatism. It has always sought to innovate, and there's a cultural willingness to listen and respond to evolving customer needs. And I've been warmly welcomed into the organisation at a really interesting time. But in terms of challenges faced by the industry, I'm not sure that it's changed my perception itself, but it's certainly focused my attention on some key areas, many of which I'm hoping are going to be covered in the conference.
Looking ahead, could you share with us what you see as key strategic areas for the development of the company?
Absolutely. While you will appreciate that many areas are sensitive, I can talk generically. You'll be aware that we're working hard to satisfy the UK's new helicopter requirement, new medium helicopter requirement, and we're offering the AW149 and feel that that is the optimum solution for the UK. It's our latest generation of battlefield helicopter, and the AW149 is a multi-role utility helicopter, as we've got here, and it's reconfigurable to a wide range of demanding missions across the full spectrum of operation environments. But looking more broadly at the future, there's a growing customer focus on uncrewed and autonomous VTOL. Leonardo intends to play a key role here, initially in the military sector, but then into civil applications. Then, of course, there's the next generation of crewed vertical takeoff and landing aircraft and capabilities in both domains, military and civil. And while the US is pressing on with their FVL program, NATO is starting to engage on its next generation rotorcraft capability concept, aimed at providing medium lift rotorcraft for NATO nations from the mid-2030s. But taking a step back, meeting both next generation rotorcraft and uncrewed systems will require common core technologies. Both seek innovations in propulsion and autonomy as the two major headlines. And of course, all this development must take place against a backdrop of reducing the carbon footprint of rotorcraft operations, as well as meeting the net zero emissions targets.
This year, there has been much discussion within the European industry on next generation platforms, whether that's NATO's next generation rotorcraft or future vertical lift. What's Leonardo's view?
As you would expect, we're talking to various governments about their potential position. There are differing views, not least around the need for speed, a factor that will be fundamental to future designs. And in the case of NATO NGRC, a preliminary set of requirements has recently been published as a useful initial baseline. In parallel, our EU entities within the company are working with various partners driving forward the recent European Defence Fund's rotorcraft initiatives. And in general terms, we must not forget that Europe and North America, inside the framework of NATO, share a range of common requirements where interoperability will be of significant importance.
The Forum is the premier European event for showcasing rotorcraft research capabilities. How can we best ensure European rotorcraft skills are protected and strengthened?
It's a fact that some 900 non-US medium lift helicopters in the military domain will need replacing or upgrading from the mid-2030s. And given our strength in depth, I feel very confident that the European rotorcraft industry will be well placed to fulfill that need. But we cannot be complacent. We need to continue to innovate and drive forward the technological boundaries in our field, and I'm hoping that the ERF will help us do exactly that.
We've talked about the relevance of future military programs, but Leonardo is of course a civil platform provider as well. What do you see as the key civil aerospace technology opportunities for Leonardo in the UK, and are there any synergies?
The civil sector is enormously important to us. Gone are the days when civil technology followed that of the military domain. Technological change is more than ever driven by civil demand. This is important not only for Leonardo, but for our partners in the supply chain and in academia. Our ability to work with organisations like ATI and AGP is vital to raise the profile of the VTOL sector in the UK. And that VTOL sector is small compared to the fixed-wing community, but historically it's played a major role in the innovation of technologies, not least through advances in composite materials. And with the emergence of advanced air mobility, there's potential for the VTOL sector to take a lead role with a whole new set of technologies, and in doing so, to make a significant additional contribution to the UK economy.
With an increasing focus on sustainability and the UK's hosting of COP26 this year, could you comment on the part Rotorcraft and technology development can play in minimising our environmental impact and Leonardo's strategy in this regard?
Sustainability is fundamental to all of our futures. It's a central part of our strategy moving forward, working hand in hand with our suppliers and academia and with government. It's more than development of sustainable aviation fuels and innovative propulsion, important though they are. It's about the whole business, from our product design, manufacturer, maintenance. It's about materials, including recyclability and exploiting the digital. It's about our sites and how we make them carbon neutral as rapidly as possible. And it's about our people, engendering the sort of sustainability culture that we know we need moving forward.
Why is sponsorship of the European Rotorcraft Forum important for Leonardo?
Exchange of knowledge is vital. We all have collective responsibility to society to improve all aspects of rotorcraft, particularly safety, cost effectiveness and efficiency. Recent technological developments have become a significant enabler for rotorcraft, unlocking design architecture, constraints and creating exciting opportunities moving forward. Leonardo understands the value of work undertaken in academia and research institutions, and the ERF is a great opportunity to take that first look over the horizon. At the same time, it's always invaluable to understand what others in the industry are doing and to be able to compare notes on a neutral ground. Above all these points, of course, is the carbon footprint of rotorcraft operations. If the industry is to deliver the dream of advanced air mobility, we must do more than simply promise an all-battery propulsion system. Green credentials will need to be evident from the design conception all the way through manufacture, operation, ultimately decommissioning. Looking for the touch points that the green agenda has on the conference's proceedings will be of great interest to me and I'm sure many others.
Finally, is there a message that you would like to deliver the presenters and attendees of this year's European Rotorcraft Forum?
Certainly. It's regrettable that this year's event must be held virtually, and I know I speak for everyone involved in supporting the ERF within Leonardo when I say that we look forward to meeting face to face again in the not too distant future. There are a number of key technology areas that Leonardo is keen to focus on. I've mentioned propulsion and autonomy before, but there are many others. In fact, it'd be fair to say that there are more technological challenges than one OEM, large or small, can take on alone. And whilst Leonardo is a pretty large OEM, we recognise that partnership is vital to delivering these future capabilities. Events like the ERF provide us all within the VTOL community with visibility of each other's strengths and interests. And my team are looking forward to getting into the detail of the papers presented, with a view not only to enhance our understanding of the art of the possible, but also identifying who else might go on that journey with us. This is a truly extraordinary time for the industry, with emerging advanced air mobility, the potential ubiquity of autonomous systems, the old boundaries being pushed back by the next generation of military rotorcraft, and of course, we need to achieve all of this without further damaging the planet.
The European Rotorcraft Forum is one of the premier events in the Rotorcraft community's calendar. It brings together manufacturers, research establishments, academia, operators and regulatory agencies to discuss advances in research, development, design, testing and operations of helicopters. The ERF will take place from the 7th to 9th of September, virtually this year. Tickets are available now from the Royal Aeronautical Society website.